Coogan Cassius for Eiffel TV here in Cardiff for the final.
You had no mojo on the way down here.
Where
do you regret doing 2? It's been a long day, innit? How good was that?
I asked you the question because you sound I was asleep.
You know when you walk, you know when you walk around the corner in a press conference and you walk in, you think, please let there be a lot of people, and you go.
Yeah, because you showed me a picture about.
I know that was about half an hour before.
Half an hour, there was no one in there.
Maybe these evening press conferences work. It's good, wasn't it? I mean, I don't know, 500.
It
I don't know,
was
something
packed,
like that. Yeah, it's good, really good.
There. Surprised me, to be honest.
Yeah, it's good. No, it's really good.
It's been a long day, blah blah blah, but it was kind of the initial press conference was where most was said, and this was kind of like they probably thought a lot about what they're going to say leading up, into in the car up there. But what do you make from what's happened today and what they've said?
I think they're going to go back to camp with a lot more between their teeth. We know they hate each other. They're always going to hate each other. They probably hate each other a little bit more now. But I think it just focuses the mind going into camp. And I wanted to do something in Liverpool and in Cardiff. Obviously, Nathan's fighting in Cardiff, in Liverpool. So I wanted to do something here for the people. He's got a lot of support coming up. The box office has gone mad today. You know, we've done like 8,000 tickets. We've only got, 1,200 left or something like that. So maybe even sell out tonight. It's been a good day. And just now building the card. Still got probably 3 big fights to add, and some others opponents to announce for the fighters we've already been on. So a lot of work to do, and of course the Leeds press conference tomorrow.
Absolutely. A minority of people have questioned whether this is pay-per-view or not. I've seen a few.
Not necessarily. A lot of people, a lot of hardcore fight fans are saying, "Oh, well, this." My answer's quite simple. Could I have done this fight without pay-per-view? Possibly. Could I have done it with the card that I'm producing and going to produce? The answer is no. If you look at the purses for the card that's about to transpire, it's impossible to do that on a normal rights fee.
Why do you
for a
have
Saturday
to do
night.
that though?
Because I want to put on a huge night of boxing. Yeah. I've got a lot of fighters that I want to put in big, meaningful fights, and I want to do a huge night for British boxing. And sometimes, the problem is having all these dates, sometimes you can dilute the brand a little bit by putting on a fight. Now you've got to show this week, now you've got to show next week, now you've got to show. So we've gone from a period of putting shows on 2 or 3 years ago that was like one main event and 8 rounders and no one really moaning, to like a fight show like, for instance, on Saturday night, where you've got Josh Warrington challenging for a vacant European title, you've got Tyrone Nurse fighting Dave Ryan, a domestic fight for the Commonwealth light welterweight title, you've got Ricky Burns, Callum Smith, Brian Rose and others, and all of a sudden people say, I ain't much of a card. So we've really set the standards high. But I don't want to dilute and just sort of do a standard night all the time, because people want more and more. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to put something mega on. We've got a great main event, really big, huge grudge match. It's not like people say, oh, well, there's no title. This is the biggest fight in the cruiserweight division. Trust me on that. I mean, this is going to create more noise than any other fight in the cruiserweight division. So ultimately, we've got James DeGale's going to be in a big fight. We've got Scott Quigg defending his world title. James McDonald defending his world title. We've got Anthony Joshua against Michael Sprott. We've got Callum Smith against Serge Locker, which is a great fight. Plus, probably another 3 or 4 to add. Big fights, not like 6 rounders. So, of course, you're in a position where you're going to get people that aren't happy with it. But, sometimes...
Do you understand why they're not happy?
Yeah, because in an ideal world, everything would be free. Listen, in an ideal world, I'd put this card on off pay-per-view. We'd take it to as big an audience as possible. The other choice is I'll just put the main event on and a few other bits on. There's an argument for that as well. This was a business decision to get my fighters out and put on a major card for British boxing.
I saw a comment from someone today earlier on that said you can't really justify whether something's pay-per-view based on the undercard. It's got to be the main fight.
I disagree. It's about the product. It's not. Of course, the main fight's got to be a great fight. It's got to be strong. This is. But I need to deliver a quality card. And listen, I'm up against it. I read my Twitter. I've been getting it in the neck all day. But at the end of the day, and I hate to be brutal, if you don't like it, don't buy it. I'm trying to put on something special. I believe you're going to get value for money. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. But I think you're going to miss out. And I've seen other, Box Nation and Frank Warren having digs all day. The bottom line is facts are facts. When Tony Bellew, when Frank Warren made Tony Bellew against Nathan Cleverly for the first time, guess where it was? It was on Box Office. It ended up falling through, and he fought Koziemski on Box Office, right? And then when he made it for the second time, he started a subscription channel off the back of it. So, you know, it's like, again...
Well, at the first fight, they part of the Gal Groves thing.
Yeah, but it's still Cleverly was top of the bill.
Yeah.
In the end, they ended up flipping it and making Groves top of the bill. You know, but at the end of the day, yeah, but they had the Gal Groves and hardly anything else on the undercard. I think Frankie Gavin was in an absolute bore fest. We've got 2 world titles, probably 3 world titles. We've got Anthony Joshua, you know, we've got Callum Smith in a world title eliminator, Stephen Smith in a huge fight. We've got plenty on this card. But you're always going to get criticised, you know, and I've been reading it all day and it's been tough reading it. You know, but we're starting this journey. We've got 7 weeks to go. It's going to be a huge build-up. And listen, the main proof is that we've sold probably 9,000 tickets today. If there's really no interest in this fight, and the tickets are expensive, you know, I mean, we've priced them fairly, but they are expensive, and they've nearly all gone. This is a big fight. This is a big night, and you know, at the end of the day, I've got a job to do to deliver as well, not just for the fans, but for my fighters as well. Get them out in as big fights as possible, for as much money as possible, and this is the model that I've chosen to make that work this time around.
We spoke about this in our Q&A. I don't know if it's the one that's going out tomorrow or
but
not.
I'll answer you on that.
Yeah.
People said, why didn't you just say yesterday that it was a Q&A? Answer is, because I was confirming fights, and I genuinely didn't know. Yeah. We made a call last night. I had 2 backdrops. Yeah. I had one, look, you see this one's got Sky Sports on, the other one had Box Office on. Yeah. So I genuinely didn't know. And we had to make a call, but to make all these fights, to get all these fighters out, and to make a night like this, with the purses on the line that will be on the line, if I did it with a standard rights fee, I'd lose about £1 million. I mean, it's impossible. So sometimes, and I've said this before, and I've said the same thing when Froch Groves 1 was made and people were moaning, take a leap of faith with me. You know, and if you don't want to do it, then don't. But I said the same thing for Froch Groves, and it ended up being a fight of the year. And look what it grew into for number 2. I've done 3 pay-per-view now. Every one has delivered huge value for money. I believe this will as well. If you don't believe in me, if you don't believe in my product, don't buy it.
Just to the last thing, we spoke about this in the Q&A about the comparing of the 2 fights. When they first fought, they were both unbeaten, and it was for a world title at the same venue that you're going to have yours now. 3 years on, they've both been stopped or knocked out, and for no world title. But you're saying the fight is a lot bigger.
I believe it's bigger. The profile's bigger. The platform is much, much bigger. Obviously, last time it was watched by 1 man and his dog, and 2, now it's going to have the 7-week build-up on Sky Sports. They're going to become huge names through the profile that's going to deliver for them. Their profiles have expanded hugely since the first fight. Tony Bellew was like 14-0, British champion. And by the way, there's nothing on that card. Like, you know, remember that card compared to what's on here. So again, you're going to get that. I've seen some people say, listen, at the end of the day, I like Bellew Cleverly, and there's some good fights on the card, I'll buy it. And then you've seen a lot of people say, oh, I ain't sure about this, and you've seen some other people saying, fuck off, Eddie, and I ain't buying it. All I can say is that on the pay-per-views that I've promoted, Froch v Kessler, Froch v Groves 1, Froch v Groves 2, I don't think I've had 1 person moan. I believe I won't have 1 person who buys this money. Is there something that
you've just noticed that you've said all the fights have involved Carl Froch, you're actually going outside?
No, but I'm trying, you know,
this is the first fight you've promoted that's not Carl Froch?
Correct, that hasn't been pay-per-view. So listen.
The gamble there?
Yeah, but, you know, you've got again, we've got to see what works and what doesn't work. If we do it and it doesn't work, maybe we'll just stick to Carl Froch fights, or maybe, you know, but the bottom line is that I want to make Quigg Frampton and Calm Brook and these kind of fights, and the only way you can make those is pay-per-view. I'm really sorry to tell you that, but that's the truth, and it's about numbers, it's about figures, it's not about, oh, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do 500 grand to put this fight on because I'm a great guy and I love the fans. And, you know, if you don't think Cleverly Bellew is strong enough, the card for this will be very, very strong. It'll be much stronger than a bigger main event that will have a lesser card. It's just really whether you think it's value for money or not, and that is why that will be your key decision on whether you buy this or not.
Do you believe that Quigg Frampton is a bigger main event than this fight?
In boxing, yes.
So
I'm talking about, does it do more buys? I don't know. Like, what I'm saying is that a lot of people I know who aren't on Twitter and aren't on forums love Bellew Cleverly fight. They see Tony Bellew, oh, he's a gobby geezer, and Nathan wears the band down. First fight, they hate each other. And then you see a lot of the same people don't know who Carl Frampton is, because his last fight was on Box Nation in front of about 5,000 people. There was more people in the crowd than there was watching it on the channel. So, you know, ultimately, what appeals to which market? Maybe the hardcore boxing fans won't buy this. Maybe casuals will. Maybe it won't do very well. But ultimately, I couldn't have put this show on, event and fights and fighters on the bill, without. You know, you've got 5 or 6 main event fighters that will be in big fights taking part on this bill. You know. And ultimately, I said, back me. If you don't want to back me, don't back me. But I don't believe I'll let you down. And I believe you'll get value for money out this night, as you do, I believe, for all of our shows. And certainly all of our pay-per-views.
Just a final thing about James DeGale. Obviously, potential strong possibility of him fighting Carl Froch next year, at the start of next year. What sort of position is he in? Because
I had a meeting with James DeGale, and he said, "Look, I don't know what." Yeah, he does want tough fights. Oh yeah. He don't want to wait around for Carl Froch. He's got his position. No one's going to take it away from him. He can't control what Carl Froch does. So what we've decided to do is, let's go out there and have a real fight, right? Let's call out Carl Froch, put your name out there, shout from the rooftops, I'll fight anyone and I'm ready. And he either fights you or he vacates. He might not fight you in January, but then if he doesn't, he'll have to fight you in the spring, summer, and if he doesn't do that, he'll have to vacate. And I think Froch wants him to go out and go and make a name for himself as well, to make the fight even bigger. You know, I'll announce his opponent probably tomorrow morning. It's a real opponent.
Any names you can mention in the mix or not yet?
No, I mean, it's a world rank. I think he's 6 in the world in one of the governing bodies. Fought for a world title recently.
Is that earlier on? Is that who he's going to be?
Yeah. I mean, it's a proper fight. Yeah. You know, it's not like an 8-round warm-up. This is a proper 12-round championship fight against a tough, quality sort of middleweight.
A fight he doesn't have to take as well.
But he wants it because he wants to shout from the rooftops.
Absolutely.
You know, Quigg will be in his toughest fight to date. You know, and people will be surprised, I believe, with that opponent. McDonald's defending his world title. And we might even put Audley on the show. What do you think?
Are you serious?
I mean, we've got that many haters on Twitter today. Should we just put Audley Harrison on the bill? If you're watching this, I want you to tweet me. Audley Harrison on the November 22nd. Yes or no? Yes, he can.
Are you serious? Stick him on.
I mean, look, he's got a big profile now. I'm going to get ribbed, but I'm getting ribbed anyway. So let's just do it.
I'd welcome Audley. I love Audley.
No.
You're going to get so much hate for it.
I've got so much hate today, you know. But ultimately, you know, you make a decision, and people's responsibility. I don't want to be brutal and say, well, don't fucking buy it then. But ultimately, you've got the choice. It's not as if I'm going into your pocket and going, give me 12 quid or 14.95, whatever it is. And don't believe that's been decided either yet. So, but ultimately, I'm not making you buy it. I'm just saying to make this work in the way that I'd like to make it work, which I believe will be a huge night for British boxing. This is what we've got to do. And the proof will be in the pudding.
Well, 7 weeks, we shall see what happens. Fun and games.
One day. It's been a lot of
One
action.
day, I know.
It's
Did
a great
you just take
fight.
a score from me?
What?
Did you just take a score from me?
No, 14.95.
Oh. Coogan Cassius, Eddie Hearn, Eiffel TV. Are we going home?
We are. In about half an hour.
Oh. Leeds tomorrow.
Leeds tomorrow. Listen, if you haven't got a ticket for Leeds, do it. And if you haven't got a ticket for the O2, you've got to get on that one. Selby was here today. And, you know, listen, and another thing, I'll read my Twitter, I'll take everything in. Ultimately, I'll try and make the right decisions. Believe in me, we won't let you down.
Yeah.